Heya Cryptozens, welcome back to the Crypto Overnighter. My name is Nikodemus and we do crypto news analysis nightly at 10 p.m. And keep in mind, none of this should be considered financial advice. And it's Monday, March 6th, 2023. Kraken is pushing forward with its plans to start its own bank, despite difficulties with regulations and having to close its on-chain staking services for U.S. customers. This closure came after the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission accused Kraken of breaking securities laws. However, according to Kraken's chief legal officer, Marco Santori, the launch of Kraken Bank is still on schedule. Creating a new bank from the cryptocurrency sector would be challenging because the industry is still recovering from the collapse of FTX. There have been several enforcement actions in recent weeks, leading to regulatory uncertainty. SEC Chair Gary Gensler feels the $30 million fine in Kraken's settlement with the SEC should serve as a warning to everyone in the space. Now, Santori didn't talk about the SEC settlement in detail. However, he mentioned that the staking services had only made up a small part of Kraken's revenue. Santori added that Kraken does not admit or deny any of the allegations in the complaint. Santori said that Kraken's recent closure of on-chain staking services for its U.S. customers has had a significant impact on its product offerings. As a result, American clients who want staking services will be forced to use offshore exchanges. That makes things riskier. I just don't see how the government can claim to be protecting consumers all the while driving them offshore to underregulated or poorly regulated staking services. This situation highlights the difficulties of the regulatory environment in the United States. Because make no mistake, it is pushing users to offshore exchanges that are willing to accept their business without much scrutiny, and also without much protection. Now, we were talking about Silvergate Bank last night, and Kraken had been one of their customers. Now, Santori assured customers that the exchange's banking relationships were secure despite the closure of the Silvergate exchange network. Kraken said that they have a diversified group of banks worldwide, and Santori maintains his confidence that the banking relationships will remain unaffected. He did, however, caution that increased scrutiny and caution on the banking front could impede innovation in the cryptocurrency sector. Santori says banks will become very cautious about adding new accounts. While established companies like Kraken and Coinbase are probably going to be fine, Santori believes that the new startups with innovative ideas for the crypto economy will face a challenging road ahead. Santori does not think that there is a conspiratorial crackdown on the cryptocurrency sector in the United States, which he can think that. Everyone has the right to be wrong. But that said, he does believe that it would become an issue in the upcoming presidential race. Now, while Santori believes that there's no secret group in DC that meets regularly to plot against the cryptocurrency sector, he acknowledges that there is a group of regulators who have similar opinions on cryptocurrency. Santori seems to think that these regulators believe that the current state of cryptocurrency is crucial and that they're just not as interested in its future potential. Binance's stablecoins are borked. That's as a result of the SEC's actions against Binance USD. The SEC said that BUSD was in violation of the law. After this, the New York Department of Financial Services asked Paxos Trust to stop producing BUSD. So Binance has had to find different stablecoins to use instead. Because remember, they kicked a bunch of stables off of their platform, automatically converting them to BUSD. Well, now BUSD isn't too popular, so Binance needs a replacement, and fast. Because new data shows that Binance wants to use true USD and a few decentralized stablecoins. Binance produced 180 million TUSD between February 16th and February 24th. Trust Token is the producer of TUSD, and they've been working with Binance since June of 2019. In 2022, Binance changed TUSD into BUSD automatically to get more market share. But now, with BUSD banned, Binance is using TUSD more and more to help with its stablecoin needs. After the regulatory actions, Binance CEO CZ said the exchange would find new stablecoin options. Soon after, Binance added support for liquidity and launched TrueFi perpetual contracts. Now, TrueFi is a decentralized finance protocol for lending without collateral, and True is its token. Now, both went up 200% in the last month thanks to being listed on Binance. Terra USD was the first decentralized stablecoin, and it got a lot of attention. People thought algorithmic stablecoins were the future of crypto. But in May of 2022, we learned different. That was when the Terra ecosystem fell apart. This changed people's minds about decentralized stablecoins. The Office of the Comptroller of the Currency saw the UST collapse. They're holding that up as an example of how all stablecoins can be risky, even stablecoins backed by assets and not algorithms, because they experienced a bit of distrust from the public. Binance opened their doors in 2017. They went on to become the largest cryptocurrency exchange in the world. However, they had a problem. Most of their operations were in China and Japan, but a lot of their customers were in the US. American authorities were going to start cracking down on foreign crypto companies that weren't regulated. A Binance executive warned other executives in a private chat that any legal action from the US would be very bad for the company and its leaders. The Wall Street Journal has reviewed messages, documents, and interviews with former employees from 2018 to 2020. Binance was worried about getting in trouble with the US authorities, so it came up with a plan to protect itself. Binance's plan was to create a simple platform called Binance US. Binance US would then be licensed to use Binance's technology and the Binance name. The US platform would look independent of Binance.com. This would keep the larger Binance.com exchange separate from US regulators. Binance.com would then exclude American users. Binance and Binance US were more connected than they told people. They shared both staff and money. The journal reviewed messages and documents. They also interviewed some people. Developers in China who worked for Binance wrote the code for Binance users' digital wallets. This might mean that Binance saw American customer information, even though they were supposed to be separate. All of which means the connections between Binance and Binance US have been more intertwined than previously disclosed. Binance developers in China maintained the software code for Binance US users' digital wallets. If US regulators determine that Binance has control over a US company, they could claim the power to oversee Binance's entire business. That would put CZ and his finances under closer scrutiny. Now, recently, a Texas financial regulator stated that Binance US failed to obtain a license to operate in Texas. They said it was because it refused to provide financial information from its largest shareholder, CZ. Since at least 2020, the SEC and the Justice Department have been looking into the relationship between Binance and Binance US. A group of senators recently sent a letter to Binance asking for more answers to some questions. The senators accused Binance of hiding financial information from customers and the public. And it's not just the US. Other countries, too, have accused Binance of operating without a license. Binance is the largest cryptocurrency platform, especially following the collapse of other exchanges like FTX. U.S. regulators are now focused on regulating the $1 trillion crypto sector, in light of FTX's rapid downfall. Binance's ability to handle the ongoing industry turmoil and to interact with U.S. regulators will serve as a benchmark for the future of cryptocurrencies. Singapore police have started investigating Terraform Labs. Terraform Labs, of course, the company responsible for the Terra USD stablecoin. In an email statement, the police confirmed that the investigation is ongoing and relates to Terraform Labs. Last month, the SEC filed a lawsuit against Terraform. They're accusing the company and its co-founder Do Kwon of deceiving investors about the stability of UST. Kwon is currently wanted by authorities in South Korea. Despite his claims to the contrary, it seems he's been on the run for nearly a year now. He fled Singapore in April last year, then he moved to Dubai. Currently, he's believed to be in Serbia. The Singapore police have stated that Do Kwon is not present in their country. The failure of Terra USD last year caused numerous bankruptcies in the cryptocurrency industry. I hold it responsible for kicking off the demise of many companies, both good and bad. These companies include the likes of Three Arrows Capital, Voyager, and Celsius. Newly released government documents show that laws to regulate the cryptocurrency industry and to protect retail customers may not be introduced in Australia for over a year. The government has not given a timeline for the introduction of crypto legislation. However, it has announced plans to release a consultation paper in mid-2023 to outline its proposed role in regulating the crypto ecosystem. According to a document from August, the Australian Treasury has acknowledged that certain stakeholders may be unhappy with the perceived delay in implementing a licensing regime. However, the Treasury also noted that the collapse of some crypto companies and a market crash earlier in the year might have mitigated these concerns to some extent. The Australian Financial Review reported that the Treasury's plans for consulting with the industry and creating new legislation extends into next year. According to the Australian Financial Review, the final submissions regarding crypto legislation are not expected until the end of 2023, leading some industry observers to predict that the legislation may not be introduced until 2024 or 2025. In August, Treasurer Jim Chalmers acknowledged that Australian regulation is struggling to keep up with the crypto asset sector and proposed token mapping as a possible solution. Chalmers also noted that the current government is taking a more serious approach to assessing the crypto ecosystem and identifying potential risks. One of the newly released documents states that while the Australian Treasury acknowledges the need for action regarding crypto regulation, it also sees the benefit of taking more time to fully comprehend the emerging innovations and the risks associated with the crypto industry. The same document also reveals that the Treasury has created a specialized policy unit dedicated to crypto matters. Remember the Bank of International Settlements? Every once in a while, a central banker just needs a central bank to look up to. The Bank of International Settlements, or BIS, is the central bank for central bankers. They're also kicking off our CBDC alerts tonight, because on Monday, they published a report. This report said that a cross-border system connecting central bank digital currencies could make global payments safer and cheaper. The central bank's innovation hub, based in Basel, worked with the central banks of Israel, Norway, and Sweden to complete Project Icebreaker. This project aimed to find solutions for cross-border transactions based on distributed ledger technology. So in this case, they're talking about CBDCs that run on a blockchain. Not common, but not unknown. Cecilia Skinsley is the head of the BIS Innovation Hub. She put out a report recently that said this project provides central banks with almost complete autonomy in designing their consumer-facing digital currencies. The model can then be used for international payments. As countries globally are working on their CBDCs, this proposal seeks to create interoperability between national infrastructures. It aims to reduce settlement and counterparty risks while decreasing transaction times and costs. Sweden's central bank deputy governor said that while domestic payments are now less expensive, safer, and more efficient, payments across different currencies still involve high costs, slow speed, and great risks. She stressed the importance of incorporating cross-currency opportunities from the start when exploring CBDCs. Project Icebreaker suggests a model that connects domestic retail CBDC systems through a hub-and-spoke structure. The hub, known as Icebreaker, will consist of foreign exchange providers on both sides. They will choose the cheapest conversion path for the payer in a cross-border transaction. This report explains that foreign exchange providers will hold and manage retail CBDC liquidity in their operating currencies. Each provider will submit buy and sell rates for those currencies to the Icebreaker hub. The hub will maintain a live database of the submitted rates and provide the payer with the best available rate along with the identity of the provider upon request. The BIS has been supporting the acceleration of central bank digital currencies. Not too long ago, we were talking about Augustin Carstens, and he said that CBDCs replicate existing forms of money in a technologically superior way. I disagree, but then again, I'm on the side of privacy and self-control over your own assets, so there you are. The development of CBDCs is a priority for policymakers this year. Countries such as Australia and the UK have made significant progress in this area. Last week, the Biden administration announced regular meetings to discuss a potential digital dollar to complement the Federal Reserve's exploration. Iran has completed preliminary research for the launch of a potential digital rial, moving forward with their central bank digital currency plans. The Central Bank of Iran announced the completion of a pre-pilot phase in the development of Iran's CBDC. Mohammad Reza Bani Yekta is the head of their Office for Supervising Payment Systems. Yekta was at the 9th Annual Conference on Electronic Banking and Payment Systems in February 20th. While there, he announced that Iran's central bank plans to increase the scope of their CBDC pilot in the country's payment system. However, he also mentioned that they don't want to rush its implementation. Now, he said that the pre-pilot phase ended successfully with valuable achievements and that the project will soon be launched in other ecosystems, which will be used by more users. Which is really important for Iran. They're the most sanctioned country on the planet, even surpassing Russia, who is currently invading their neighbor, so there you go. According to reports, Yekta said that a potential digital rial would follow the same rules established for rial banknotes. He added that a digital rial would be distributed among individuals and banks. He said that the CBDC infrastructure would incorporate some blockchain features. 10 banks in Iran have applied to join the digital rial project. This includes Bank Melli, Bank Mellat, and Bank Tejarat, all of which were involved in the experimental phase. All banks and credit institutions in Iran are expected to start offering electronic wallets for the upcoming digital currency. The Central Bank of Iran started planning its CBDC pilot last year, this following years of initial research since 2017. The regulator rolled out a CBDC pilot in December of 2022 to improve financial inclusion and to compete with global stablecoins. The digital rial project, called Crypto Rial, is pegged to the national currency, the Iranian rial, at a 1-to-1 ratio. The digital currency runs on a platform called Borna, developed using Hyperledger Fabric. Hyperledger Fabric is an open-source enterprise blockchain platform established by IBM. Now, Iran is set to meet with the Bank of Russia's governor, Elvira Nabiullina. This meeting is expected to take place soon because they're both kind of desperate. As we reported a few months back, Russia and Iran are reportedly collaborating to develop a gold-backed stablecoin that would be used as a payment method in foreign trade. The Pakistan Banks Association is a group of 31 traditional banks in Pakistan. They agreed to create a blockchain-based Know Your Customer platform. The association signed a contract on March 2nd. The contract is to develop Pakistan's first blockchain-based national KYC banking platform. The goal is to improve anti-money laundering abilities and to combat terror financing. The State Bank of Pakistan is leading this effort. The association has international members such as the Industrial and Commercial Bank of China, Citibank, and Deutsche Bank. They will use the blockchain platform to enhance operational efficiencies and to improve customer service during onboarding. Avanza Group will develop the blockchain-based KYC platform named Consonance. It will standardize and exchange customer data through a decentralized and self-regulated network. The sharing of customer details will require consent, allowing banks to assess new and existing customers. Pakistan has signed new laws to launch their own central bank digital currency by 2025. The state bank will grant licenses to electronic money institutions to issue a CBDC. The deputy governor of SBP, Jamil Ahmad, said that these regulations are a testament to their commitment to technology adoption, openness, and the digitization of their financial system. And that's going to do it for us tonight. I want to thank you, my listeners, because when you stop listening, I will stop talking. If you enjoyed tonight's show, then please like, follow, subscribe, leave a rating or review. And in the meantime, we'll see you tomorrow night.